This baby girl had only just been born when she went viral. The picture that her proud mother took just after the birth is so special that it was shared thousands of times on social media. And so, immediately after she was born, this little newborn baby became an internet sensation. Curious about what's so special about this baby girl? When little Amelia was born, she appeared to be just like any other baby. She breathed, cried, and did everything that other newborns do. And even though she was the most magnificent little being to her parents, to the rest of the world, she was an ordinary baby. Until the little girl stretched out and the doctor discovered something very special about her little body. "I couldn't believe it when I saw it," the shocked mother explained. "It was so special that it brought tears to my eyes." Parents, Sarah, 28, and Rob, 30, got to know each other during their college days. Although they were majoring in different subjects, they had friends in common, so they saw each other regularly at parties and other gatherings. At one of these parties, a spark lit up between the two that turned out to be difficult to extinguish, because years later the couple still loved each other tremendously. Still, life can sometimes take an unexpected turn. This was also the case for this young couple, because when Sarah came home from work one day, she suddenly felt a stabbing pain in her chest. The pain was so intense that she only just managed to call the emergency number. Sirens blaring, the ambulance rushed Sarah to hospital. Sarah, who by this point was no longer conscious, was rushed inside. She was taken directly into the operating room, where she underwent emergency treatment. After the surgery, Rob sat next to her bed while Sarah recovered, with tears in his eyes. When he noticed that Sarah was starting to regain consciousness, he jumped up in relief and kissed her all over her face. Relieved, the couple laughed the tension away. But their joy was short-lived, because when the doctor walked into her room, Sarah knew right away that something was wrong. Sarah had had a severe heart attack. The doctors treated her as fast as they could, but it was already too late. Part of her heart had died off. The couple turned white as a sheet while the doctor talked to them about what had happened. "You probably have an inherited disorder that caused you to have such a severe heart attack at a very young age. Because part of your heart has died, you'll tire a lot faster. Heavy physical labor is therefore strongly discouraged," the doctor told her sternly. "Otherwise, your heart might die off completely." This doctor's advice arrived like a sledgehammer blow. But despite this setback, Sarah was determined to make something of her life. Once at home, it was difficult for Sarah to do the simplest of household chores. She needed Rob's help with almost everything. But as time passed, this seemed to change somewhat. Sarah's heart slowly got used to heavier work, and she could do more and more. Of course, she had to be careful, but things were looking up. Step by step, Sarah picked her normal life back up. And then came the incredible news. Sarah had been feeling nauseous for a couple of weeks and decided to go to the doctor, just to be sure. The things she was feeling weren't symptoms of her condition, but you can never be too sure. When the doctor told Sarah and Rob the happy news that Sarah was pregnant, the couple couldn't believe their luck. "A baby? We hadn't planned it, but we were so happy." For a moment, they were overjoyed, until Sarah suddenly remembered something. Would her heart be able to handle the delivery? The family doctor could not give her a clear answer. He thought it was risky and advised against it. But he couldn't stop Sarah if she really wanted to continue with the pregnancy. And this is what Sarah wanted with her entire beating heart. The couple therefore decided to continue the pregnancy. It was very hard on Sarah's body, but she bravely soldiered through it. When the day finally arrived, the young couple knew it was now or never. Would Sarah's heart be able to handle the birth? At first, everything seemed to be going well. Sarah was laying down on the hospital bed and sometimes even made jokes. She laughed away the pain from the contractions as if it didn't hurt her at all. She was so happy that she was finally going to meet her special baby. But once the delivery started and Sarah had to give it her all, things started going awry really fast. The birthing process was too much for Sarah's heart to handle. All the machines she was attached went haywire, and there was a chaos of doctors and nurses in the room who did everything they could to save her life. When the cardiac massage started to work and Sarah's heart slowly started beating again, Sarah was out of the woods. But time was running out for her unborn child. The mother-to-be was rushed to the operating room. The doctors performed an emergency cesarean section, but when Amelia's little head came out, it remained dead silent. Fortunately, the doctor managed to get the little girl breathing fast enough. She was immediately examined thoroughly, including her heart. But fortunately, her mother had not passed on her heart defect to her newborn daughter. Amelia was in perfect health. Relieved, the nurse laid her on her mother's chest. Sarah had regained consciousness but was speechless. She was so full of love. Once they were back in the delivery room, Rob jumped up in relief. He had been terribly worried and was overjoyed that his wife and child were doing well. But the biggest surprise was yet to come. Because when little Amelia stretched out after drinking, the doctor discovered something very special. She had a birthmark in the shape of a heart on her chest, exactly where her heart is. It was as if it was meant to be, Sarah told the reporter, while tears welled up in her eyes again. As if I've transferred part of my heart to her. She shared her special story and a photo of her newborn daughter with her heart-shaped birthmark on social media. But she never expected what would happen next. Her daughter immediately went viral and got fans from all over the world. Everyone was so amazed by this special child that Sarah was flooded with sweet messages. She had not counted on her story getting so much attention. But now that it had, Sarah decided to use all this media attention to do some good. She raised over $100,000 for the Heart Foundation, helping many kids who suffer from the same heart defect. Sarah and her family are overjoyed and only have one word for their special experience: